You've got a great swing until suddenly your ball finishes up on the side of a slope. All of a sudden everything feels awkward, your stance, your rhythm, your confidence all starts to drain out of you. So what if there was one simple focus that would make any sloping lie more simple, more natural and more manageable? In this video we're going to look to turn these challenging sloping lie shots into something far easier and something you can actually look forward to playing. So that's what's coming up in this video. Here we are at Prince's Golf Club, one of the host courses to our upcoming Easier Swing golf trip. We're out on the Himalayas 9 on hole number 4. I've hit my drive down the hole just a little to the right of the fairway, and here I am in a classic links scenario, a sloping lie. Never do I get the flat lie that I've been practicing on the range on my perfectly flat mat. So in this instance, here we are with the ball significantly above my feet. How do we start approaching this shot? Well, the first thing that we're looking to do, again, is always to get our focus centered around being comfortable. We're going to look to play this shot as easy as possible. That's not going to be easy from an uncomfortable, unbalanced start position. As I take an address position at the golf ball there, of course the golf ball being closer to me than it would be on the flat ground. So I'm looking to absorb some of that proximity by just going down the hand a little bit, softening my arms, absorbing some of this close proximity by softening my arms. Other than that, I'm looking to really find my center of gravity. If I was to, go back up the shaft, I'm going to start to find it's pushing me back. Already I'm on my heels, falling my way back down the slope. That's of course never going to allow me to make a nice, smooth, easy, balanced swing. Once absorbing some of the slope there and nice soft arms, so I'm just feeling where I'm centered so that I'm not falling forwards onto the golf ball, I'm not over exaggerating there, but of course I certainly don't want to be back on the heels and falling away from the shot there. With that in there, nice, absorbing it, nice bit of flex in the knees, keeping things in motion, as Brian used to like to say, the engine's always running. I'm not standing here and paralyzing myself with too many thoughts and worries and technicalities. I'm just trying to be nice and relaxed, feel the slope under my feet, feel my center of gravity and where I am. From there, of course, the usual, keeping relaxed, keeping a nice rhythm, making a nice smooth swing. One of the consequences of a shot where the ball is significantly above my feet, it's going to want to go to the left on me a little bit. So I'm just going to take my aim a little further to the right to allow that to happen. As I say, just nice and relaxed, keeping myself centered, keeping myself balanced, keeping the whole thing smooth. And moving through nice and relaxed. That's actually come around really quite well there.
So if you've just found Easier Swing, just come and join the thousands of golfers around the world who are finding an easier way to play the game. It's not technical, it's not difficult, anybody can do it and you can improve your game in the simplest possible way. You just need to check out our website, easierswing.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. We've also got the Positive Impact Golf book there where you can download the first few chapters and get a look at that, see what you think. And if you want to, you can get the rest of the book, and you can also have a look at our new book, The Easier Swing in Golf. So I hope you enjoy those resources. easierswing.com.
So again, just talking you through how I'm kind of feeling as I approach this shot, absorbing the slope, relaxing the hands, absorbing it with the arms, nice and relaxed, feeling nice and centered, nice and balanced. I'm not feeling I'm falling away from the shot, I'm not getting back on my heels, I'm not overkill and leaning too much into the slope. Nice and relaxed, a few rehearsals, a swish of the club head, following with the body. Very nice, almost again. Still even a little bit of dancing in here. It all still applies and stays the same. Acceleration point through. Nice relaxed finish. Trust in those things. Very nice. That's right on there. So different scenario now. Here we are on a downslope. Playing my way towards a hole in the distance in front there. Ground significantly falling away in front of me. I need to play this shot here. Now the first thing before we get into any technique to realise, of course, loft angle on the club on the flat. Now I'm on this slope here, of course it's drastically reduced the loft of the club. So although this is kind of an 8-iron length shot for me, I'd be playing this with a pitching wedge, because ultimately my pitching wedge is now an 8-iron loft. So just one thing to consider before we get into playing a nice, smooth, relaxed shot. So first thing key here with the downslope, always try and make yourself, and it depends on the severity of the slope. There are sometimes, if we're on a real big slope, it's not going to be possible. But if it's that big a slope, it's unlikely that the ball stayed there. But bear that in mind. What I'm always trying to look to do on the slopes is get myself, technical words coming in, you know, perpendicular to the slope, okay, trying to get myself nice and level there. Okay, if I start to get myself level with sea level, I'm starting to create a bit of a funny old position here, my low side coming in and going to run the risk of hitting the ground. So I'm always looking at trying to get myself perpendicular to the slope there. From there onwards, again, just get comfortable, okay? I can use my feet really as stabilizers. I quite like to feel in this instance my left foot kind of turns out just a little bit, considering of course I'm swinging down and forwards along the slope, how that's really comfortable for me. If I was to play this with my foot kind of turned in, facing level there with the golf ball, that's quite a bit of strain we can see there coming into the outside of my knee and my foot. I'm having to balance myself with the club. So simply turning that foot out, as I'm got this exaggerated chasing through, gravity moving me forwards here on a much more force, that's just making things just that little bit more comfortable for me. The back foot I often use as kind of a stabilizer and a rudder really, okay, just to get myself nice and balanced and level. I'm kind of finding where can I put this foot to ground me to just keep me nice and stable over this sort of shot here, okay. So I'm just using that, drawing it back maybe just a little bit, okay. It just helps me get comfortable and balanced, which will enable me to of course make my flowing easy free swing again there, okay. So I've clubbed up, plenty of loft on there now to combat the slope taking the loft off. I've got myself nice and comfortable, perpendicular to the slope. I've put my feet in positions that are going to support me and balance me. From there, nice and relaxed again, nice and smooth, commit to the shot, through the swing. The slope, gravity, very much helping me forwards into my finish position. Just nice and relaxed. So here we are now on an upslope, okay, playing towards the target that way, significantly slope coming in here. So how am I looking to play this? Again, that premium, that focus on getting comfortable, okay? Comfortable being as close to regulation as possible. Depending on the degree of the slope again, but I'm looking to get myself perpendicular to it. I don't want to start leaning in. That wouldn't be my start position on a regular shot. I want to try and get as close to my normal start position as possible, as comfortable, as centered as possible there. From there, in this instance, unlike the downhill shot, gravity is not our friend, okay? So real emphasis on here, once I'm level with the slope, nice and comfortable, I'm really looking to fight gravity, if you like, to get through to my finish position. Everything at the moment is wanting me to fall back down the slope. So real emphasis on completing my swing, getting through to a nice finish position there. Facts with the shot. Again, there's my chosen club on the flat ground. Okay, I've got to now imagine that slope is now here. What's that done to my loft? It's increased it. Okay, so I'm looking to go down in the clubs here. This would usually be about a pitching wedge shot. I'm going to use my 8-iron. Okay, because of course, that's it. It's just added all that extra loft onto the club there. So once you've kind of pre-shot routine and you've selected the more club to help you get that distance, get ourselves again as perpendicular to the slope as we can, but then a real emphasis on, you'll feel it in your practice swings, this resistance to get up through the hill. So really being sure that I'm accelerating through the ball to my finish position. As always, as relaxed as I can, nice and smooth, good coordination and balance. Here I go, that's it, right, come on, let's finish this swing. So significantly higher than usual because of the slope, but good contact, good balance, as easy as possible. So start position, again, as comfortable as I can by making myself perpendicular to the slope, sustaining nice relaxation, being aware, of course, the resistance to forward swing because of the gravity and the slope pulling me, holding me back this way. So nice and relaxed in the start position. Real emphasis there to get myself through the ball to a finish. Relaxed, smooth, and through. And finally, here we are, ball below my feet. Arguably the trickiest of the lot. Again, what can we do to make this as simple, as easy, and as natural as possible? As we take our start position, of course, that golf ball pulling me down the slope towards it there, I'm inclined to sort of fall forwards onto my toes. So I've got to find that sort of center and get that balance point there where I'm nice and comfy, nice and settled. What's going to really help that? Well, of course, the ball is further away from me. That is pulling the club head further away from me. So let's make this club as long as we can. It's not a crime here to hold ever so slightly off the end of the handle. I'm trying to get as much length out of that club as I can so that I can stand here in a comfy start position. If I start gripping down, of course, it's only ever going to pull me more further forwards. So getting as much length as I can out of the club, absorbing some of the slope, maybe just a little bit more flex in the knees. You'll certainly find that will help you be a little bit more comfortable over the whole thing. Consequences of this shot as the slope, the ball's going to want to creep away to the right on me. So it certainly doesn't hurt to aim just a little bit left on this shot as well. Once we're happy with that, again, I'm looking to just get myself as comfortable as I can. That's helped there by holding off the end of the handle. From there, keeping everything as relaxed as I can. That's a really good sort of interesting point there, of course, how, enemy number one, of course, being tension and how destructive it can be by tense muscles being contracted muscles. Of course, that's only ever pulling me further from the golf ball. So, although this is a difficult shot and anxiety and fear and the tension that can come out of that, let's be really, really aware of that and keep those hands as light as we can, our arms as soft as we can. I'm going to let that go one step further, of course, into my whole body and even into my facial expression to really try and keep any tension out of this. I'm even going to focus on keeping my face nice and relaxed, mouth just a little bit open. Really helps to keep everything relaxed. So holding off the end of the handle, I've got as much length out of this club as I can. I'm as relaxed as I can, so I'm at full extension. Nice and smooth, finish the swing. There it is, just curling away to the right, right on target, but in balance, nice and comfortable. So after that last shot, I really felt that was key, how in playing that shot, how I managed to sustain a nice relaxed finish position. Now I'm really gonna focus on that again, nice and smooth, hold that finish. Even better, that one. Just that intent, nice finish position, rather than trying to steer, fight, engineer this shot. Again, just let it flow from that relaxed start position, flow to where, not back to the ball, not trying to find the ball, steer it, guide it, strike it, compress it. No, sweep through, nice finish position, and that's certainly helped there hit a far nicer shot. So the takeaway from this video is very much around that, feel the balance, feel the shot, get yourself as comfortable as possible. There is no major right and wrong on these things, but certainly if you are comfortable, relaxed, balanced, you're going to be as close to success as you could ever be there. So I very much hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in future sessions.